Avoid standing in line at the post office by preparing your own labels. And to do this, go to USPS.com. They have a pretty nice website where you can pay for and print out your own priority mail shipping labels. Of course, you're going to need your priority mail envelope. That's the 8.5 by 11 envelope that the USPS provides, and it kind of looks like this, even though this is the box, but it has the red. Okay, you can get those for free at the post office. You can even order them online, and they will deliver it with your mail. They'll deliver you however many envelopes you request. So you can avoid the post office altogether if you want. Okay, so you want to go to USPS.com, and you're going to click Sign In. Now, if you've already used the USPS.com and you've already registered, you'll have a username and a password, and this is where you put that in. If you're new to the USPS site, you're a new user, so you want to register, you click Sign Up, and then it'll ask you a bunch of information. And that's how you register for the USPS site. Just click Sign Up and register. Just follow directions and register. It's very easy. I've already registered. I put my username and my password in, and I'm just going to click Sign In. Now what I want to do is to prepare to ship. So go down to Prepare to Ship, and it is called Click and Ship. So meaning print the shipping label, they call it Click and Ship. Alright. As with anything, there's directions. I use this all the time, so I'm pretty familiar with it. You want to leave this. This is the default United States domestic mail. If you're sending it somewhere else, which I doubt, if you're sending for Fresh Start, it's always United States domestic mail, and you press Go. It'll take you to this screen here. Because I've used this, my return address automatically populated right in here. Okay, so your return address is on the left, the delivery address is on the right. Anything with an asterisk on it is a required field. So you want to make sure that the required fields are filled in, otherwise you will get an error message, and it'll tell you what it is, but you want to make sure that anything with the red asterisk there is filled in. Address will be standardized. What that means is if you just put in the 5-digit zip code, it will, once you hit continue, it'll put your 4-digit extension there. So that's what standardization means. It'll automatically do that. And if you want to be notified where your package is, put in your email address and then click this little box here. If you want to, I've already saved this, but if you want to save the return address in your address book, which is stored on the USPS site, just click Save. Just click Save. Okay, then you're going to fill in the delivery address. I'm sending a priority mail package to Liz. I really am sending it to her, so I'm going to go ahead and put her address in. Oops. And then she lives here. Okay. And I just started typing in the state, and Tennessee automatically populated. If it wasn't Tennessee and say it was Texas, you just click this drop down and you can select the state there. But since it already populated Tennessee, I'll leave it there. Now you notice here there's no red asterisk for the zip code. I do know this is zip code, but if I didn't, I could leave that blank. So I'm going to leave that blank and show you something here. Now, if I knew her email address and I wanted her to be notified by email of where her package is, you just put the email address and check that box, and hopefully, it doesn't always work, but hopefully she'll get emails as the package moves through the system. Alright, now, the other thing you need to do, and I always forget to do this, is over here on the delivery, or on the return address, you have to click either, if you're shipping from the same zip code that your return address is in, you just click this, and it doesn't pre-populate. You have to click that. If you don't, you just get an error, and that's what it is. If you're on vacation or you're at somebody else's, you're somewhere else other than your home address, or you're going to use a different post office, you just click other and put that zip code here. You can still use your home return address, but if you're somewhere else, just put that zip code right there. Click that if you're at home. If you don't know what it is, you just do a zip code lookup. So it's a pretty nice little site to find information if you don't know it. Now, package information, they are red asterisks. So even though it's a priority mail envelope, which is pretty much it's one price, it doesn't matter how much it weighs. If you can put a flat piece of lead in there and it could weigh 20 pounds, as long as it's flat, it's only going to cost you $4.95 or $4.75. All right, but can't leave it blank. So just usually put in 3 ounces. Size, it's no bigger than 84 inches. This pre-populates, so just leave that as no. Shipping date has to be in there. It defaults to the day that you're filling out the label. If you're gonna ship it on a different day, click the drop down, and it'll give you some alternatives. Okay, but because we want to expedite our gifts, hopefully you are shipping it or you're sending it the same day that you're preparing the label. But if you were doing it at night, say at 10 o'clock on Saturday night, of course it won't be going out into the mail until Sunday, so just click the next day. No hold for pickup. It defaults to no hold for pickup. Now, if the person you're sending it to asks you to have the post office on their end hold it because say they're going to be out of town, you can check here. You just tell them to hold it at the post office for them. All right, but I don't want to do that. I want to, and see here it says no, hold for pickup is not available for Liz's zip code. Oh, that's because I didn't put one in. But anyway, but I don't want to hold it, so no hold for pickup. That means they will deliver it to Liz's address. All right, insurance is optional. Shipping cash through the USPS is not illegal. It's on their website. You can ship cash through the mail. You can insure it if you want to, but if you do, you have to tell them what's in there. So, I hope you don't want to broadcast that you're putting, $500 in that package. You just don't want to put that temptation out there. So, it's up to you. But knock on wood, I've been doing this for a while, and knock on wood, I've never had a package get lost. Post office is pretty good at what they do, but sometimes things do get lost. But that's just one of the chances you take. But 99% of the time, they don't lose it. So, up to you if you're going to use the insurance. Again, remember, if you do, you got to tell them what it is. If you're going to do more than one label, say you're sending to 3 different addresses, you can do a batch order. But what that means is you just click that. What happens is it will pre-populate. If you're going to send everything priority mail, you don't only have to tell them that one time, but it'll have 3 different addresses. But I'm not doing a batch order today, so I'm just going to leave that, not check that box. Now remember, I didn't put Liz's zip code in there, but when I click continue, it should, hopefully, if her address is correct, put that zip code in there. I didn't get any errors, so it went to this next screen, which is print shipping labels. Service and postage options. I am doing priority mail, 2 to 3 day service, flat rate shipments, and you're using the flat rate envelope right here, priority mail, flat rate envelope. See the second one down under priority mail. Okay, if you're paying online, it is $4.75. If you're paying at the post office, it is 20 cents more. Hopefully you can pay online and save yourself 20 cents. Remember, it's the second one down, priority rate, flat rate envelope. If you're not sure what that is, just press the question mark, and it'll come up with this little thing, and this is the envelope. Come up with another box, and it'll just explain what that is. Okay, this is what the envelope looks like. Close the window. Second one down. Okay, $4.75. Then you want delivery confirmation. If you do it online, you pay online, it doesn't cost you anything extra. So it's only $4.75 to do a priority mail online. Delivery confirmation. If you do it at the post office, it costs you another 70 cents. So if you want to save some money, do this online. And if you're going to insure, say if you do insure it down here, it'll cost you a little bit extra. Okay. So I selected the priority mail. I'm going to press continue. It's going to take me to the next screen. Now, oh, I had some in here already, so I was kind of messing around with it. So this is the one. This Gibbons. This is her address. Now remember, I didn't put in the zip code. Here it is. It automatically filled it in because it went by her address. Okay, so I'm going to click this box, add. If I hadn't been practicing with this, there would only be one thing. This one here. This is address right here. It would only be one. So just check the box. If it's just one, it'll automatically go to the next one. So check the box. If I wanted to send all three of these, you check all three. Alright, so you want to make sure the address is correct. 475. And click continue. If you wanted to create another label, you just press that create another label. Alright, so now it's telling me that I gotta delete these, so that's what I'm gonna do. Delete the ones that I don't want. Alright, sorry about that. But you can see little glitches happen here and there. I was practicing. So easy enough. I just deleted those. I didn't have to start all over. This is the one I want. I'm going to uncheck that. I'm not sure what the scan form is, so let's look at that. Okay, that's just saying that it has a barcode on there and everything. So anyway, so alright, continue. Sorry. If I wanted to do another label, I would just click continue, put another label. Alright, so billing information. Okay, one package, $4.75. You can do these bill me laters, but I just put my debit card in there. Kind of tells you what it is, and put in the number there, and I'm going to, since I've already used this, I'd already had my card in there. If you hadn't, you just use credit card, and you fill in your credit card information, press continue. This is what it shows. This shows you how the label's going to look. Okay, now you can print. You have to check these boxes here. Print label without receipt instructions. If you don't check that, it'll print this part as well as these instructions. Alright, if you want the instructions, that's okay. I don't want them. So I just checked that. Now it's showing here that it could print two labels side by side because it only uses a half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Alright, then you have to check this. It has a little red asterisk. You're agreeing that you're not sending anything hazardous, liquid, or perishable through the mail. Everything's properly packaged, and that you are not shipping smokeless tobacco or cigarettes. Alright, so hopefully you're not doing that. Agree, I'm not doing that. Make sure you've got, if you're using labels, make sure your labels are in your printer. If you're using just plain paper, which you can do, just make sure your printer has ink in, or it has paper in it. Then you're going to do here, pay and print. Okay. Now this is print verification. It's processing, so you don't want to, follow these instructions. You need to read this stuff. Do not use the back button. Okay, that can mess up this, get everything confused. So don't use your back button. Your print screen will come up. This is the printer I'm using. This is what the label is going to look like. I'm only doing one, so it's only using half the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper or label, whatever you have in your printer. And if you're using a printing label, most of this size labels comes with 2 labels on the sheet. It even shows you where the label is going to print. So you know it's good if you put your label, if you put the paper in this orientation, the label is going to print on the top part of the paper. Okay, so that's just a little hint there. So if you get confused as to if you have a label sheet that only has one label on it, and if it's on this side, just put that side face into your printer, however your printer prints, and you know where that label is going to print to. And then you press OK. Now, what you're going to do is make sure that your label prints, and let's see, it says your print box will appear. We saw that. You select, click OK, and you wait for the label to be printed. Now it's going to ask you, did your label print correctly? And you're going to select yes or no. Okay, let me just. Okay, I just checked my printer, and it printed correctly. So, did your labels print correctly? If yes, it'll charge. Put a charge on your credit card, and print and deliver that number and everything. Tell the post office that this is a delivery confirmation, and put the number into the system. If it did not print correctly, this is your saving grace. If it did not print correctly, press no. Do not charge your account and return the labels to the shipping cart. Okay. Don't press. If it did press correctly, pay for it. And select yes, and pay for it. If it didn't, and you press no, and all of a sudden you discovered that that label did work, that label is no good. So don't use it, because it's not into the system, and if you try to mail that, the post office will send it back to you because it's not a good label since you didn't pay for it. So if it printed correctly, press yes, and then you'll come up with this print confirmation, give you a transaction ID, where it charged to when you printed it, to the person. You know, you want to make sure, hopefully you checked and make sure it was there before you printed it, but you want to make sure the address is correct. Now, guess what? Here's the label number. Here's the shipping or the tracking number right here. Priority mail label number. All you have to do is copy and paste it and send it to Fresh Start when you're sending your tracking number. And then you just copy and paste this number right off the site, and you send the tracking number to the person you're shipping it to. So you don't have to type it in. So this is the tracking number, and it also makes a history of it. So it's a nice little site. Hope you enjoy it. Hope this works for you. It works well. This number does go into the system. You can send this is a good tracking number. Now, when you take it to the post office, if you take it to the window, you stand in line, you take that to the window, even though you've already paid for it, make sure they scan it, because it won't track through the system unless they scan it. Kind of learned that because I usually will ship on I'll put envelopes. I don't like to stand in the post office. It's always busy, so I usually don't stand in line because I don't have time to do that. So I just put it in the, either go into the post office and put it in the boxes in the wall, or I'll put it in the big box outside if they're closed if I'm driving through. And I have found out that even though I have a confirmation number, packages have been shipped, and when I try to track it, it's saying that the number's in the system, but it hasn't left the facility. Oh, and I know darn well that I had sent it 3 days before, well, what's happened is that the post office didn't scan it when they pulled it out of the box. Sometimes that happens. You know, don't worry about it. You know, hopefully it'll get there on time. You don't have to try to track it, and then you've got people from Fresh Start calling you and stuff like that. But what I do when that happens, and it's happened to me twice after, I don't know how many, after 100 envelopes I've sent, it's only happened to me twice, but I just went to the post office and filed a complaint and said, hey, you know, please scan the priority mail envelopes when they get deposited in your mailboxes. But it rarely happens, but sometimes it does. That's it. We're done. If you have any questions, contact either Fresh Start Leadership, or you can send me a Ning message and I can try to help you, or give me a phone call. Hope this works for you.